Sure, I'm Chris McRae, owner of Empire Cider Company in Codrington, Ontario. I say a lot, so hopefully you can edit things.
Yeah, we'll keep it all natural as long as we go, because then I have less work to do. So,
Perfect.
you've been around for a while. We came by about 2 years ago and chatted. You've got a handful of different ciders available. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what you have on offer?
Yeah, for sure. This time of year, we only really have our one main blend, and then I use a whiskey-based blend as well, just because there's no fresh fruit this time of year. So once the fruits start to come out, we do a peach version, we do a black currant cider, lots of different ones. Yeah, we've been doing it since about 2014. I think we got our license in, and it's a lot of fun. We enjoy doing it. Good way to spend your weekends.
Yeah, a couple of years ago when we came by, you were just putting this together. So it's
Okay.
come together a little bit more right now, which is quite nice. How do you find traffic on weekends and so on here?
It's Highway 30 is a busy road, so we get quite a few people stopping in here. We do a market just around the corner on Sundays as well, so that's really good. But yeah, no, we get surprisingly a lot of traffic out this way for being on the way to nowhere and in the middle of nowhere.
The market's been important for you, has it?
Oh, absolutely. Farmers markets. We do a couple different ones. We do one in Toronto. We do our local market here. A couple other local markets too during the week. More in the summertime when we're finally done work for the year, or my wife is anyway. Yeah, no, it's the farmers markets they're huge. Like, and people really like having the product there too, right? So
The how does that whole system work? So I'll get that from you right away.
so system?
What is the minimum requirements, or what is the maximum you're allowed to do at a farmer's market? And so
We're
on?
allowed to do, because we're a wine. We're allowed to do a fruit wine. We're allowed to do fruit wine sales at farmers markets. So we're allowed to do everything. It's an extension of our store here, right? So we can do everything we can do here. We can do at the market. So we can sample. We can sell our ciders.
And then you are allowed to go to how many?
We can do as many farmers markets as we want, as far as I know. We are ourselves right now. We're only doing 4 different markets. Once the summer picks up a little bit, we'll start doing a few more during the weeks. But
Excellent. And then we've got your whole room in the back here
Yes.
of everything's being done. Do you want to tell me about the process and how you go about things?
yeah, so our cider's a little different than a lot of the ciders out there. We do not add anything to the cider. So we ferment with the yeast from the apples. Try to keep it as natural as possible, fruit-wise. Mind you, we're drinking a midnight run, which has whiskey in it, so it's kind of goes against what I'm saying there a little bit. But it's we try to not add any chemical to it, right? Keep the apple, the cider itself very, very natural. So our extra dry that we have, there's absolutely no additives to it whatsoever. We just let it ferment. We add honey to it to carbonate it, from the neighbor's farm here. And yeah, no, it's I like, not to sound hippie-ish, but I like a natural product. I like to taste cider how cider would have tasted 1,000 years ago, right? And some people get what we're doing, and some people don't get what we're doing. But it just adds another variety for someone that's into cider, right? Just adds that different dimension, and a few people really enjoy it. So it's
We're starting to see a lot more cideries come into play. I mean, we've
yeah.
doubled or tripled in the last year or so. Do you view that as competition, or do you view that as a growing of the market and more opportunities?
No, absolutely not. It's I think it's a lot like the craft beer market. It's not competition. Like, I know in the county, I haven't gotten down to a lot of the cideries in the county. The new ones popping up. Actually, just someone was in here a little while ago saying that can't remember the name of the cidery, but they were down there today and just absolutely loved it. I know. There's another cidery opening down there called Settlers Landing. It's or Settlers Cidery, something like that. It's going to be great, but there's no competition. It's making friends. It's no one's out to take each other's taps or anything like. It's a really really good industry to be into.
Yeah, it seems like it's very growth market right now, so
Oh, yeah.
that it's really just the availability of product and ability to get it to places and people will consume.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's and that's been great for us to we've been able to expand a little bit in the past couple of years to get our stuff out to a few different markets. Markets being restaurants and whatnot. So I think we're doing Ottawa to Guelph now, which for a couple of my wife and I, that's a pretty big leap that we've taken there. So it's I can't go on saying enough about how much we like doing cider. It's fun. It's a good hobby.
I do the I do the trip Ottawa to Guelph because we're based out of Ottawa, and then I'm home for Guelph. So I've had a chance to sample you in Ottawa or in Guelph before. Where is it that you're located in Ottawa?
So we're currently at the Black Squirrel Cafe. We're also in the Ottawa Valley. We're at White River or Whitewater Brewing Co.
Yeah.
Clover in Ottawa as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were at the Black Tomato, but they're no longer with us.
I mean, it's a tough market, and being from Ottawa, and knowing it's very hard for the city doesn't necessarily understand what cider is doing, so it's starting to grow.
No, it definitely is, and I worked like my day job's with the federal government, so I spend quite a bit of time in Ottawa. And that's the one thing that I've always noted. Like I'll go, you go into the Byward Market and you'll go into somewhere and have, try and order a craft cider, and there's not a lot out there, right? Especially in the Ottawa market, we have noticed that, and it's great to see, people picking up on it. And there is I'm trying to think of the name. There's a cidery outside of Ottawa now too, right?
Yeah, Farmgate is located there, and then also in Ottawa, there's Flying Canoe.
Yeah, so it's great to see, right? Like it's, there's piles of breweries up there already, but it's good to see that the momentum still kind of because Quebec's got some great ciders, right? So it's good to see that it's really coming around there too.
Yeah, interesting border issue still, but that's that's the politics of everything, and we won't really get into that unless you want to.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Where is it that you get your inspiration, and do you have anything new that's coming out your way?
I get my inspiration from honestly going to the farmers markets for coming up with new batches and different ideas. I've got a lot of friends also in the not only the cider industry but the craft brewery industry. So, taking a look at some of the things that they're doing with some of their smaller batches or cask batches, and looking at some of that stuff. You draw some inspiration off the craft brewers, but also like going to a farmers market and all the local farmers now, and whatever they're selling, whatever produce is in season, fruit that's in season, using that. So we've used rhubarb in cider, we've used peaches, blueberries, like anything under the sun, hops that our friends are growing. And that's where the inspiration comes is friends that are growing other stuff, right? And it's added to it, and it always comes out, in my opinion, delicious. So
I don't think we've ever had a problem whatsoever with yours. It's always been a very nice experience to have, and as you said, very natural, very much from the source of what it is without the additional additives and so on. So if I guess my final question would be is if you could see yourself in 5 years, would there be sort of a hope of anything for the cider at that point?
yeah, definitely. I'd like to see it expand a little bit. We're almost to a point now within the business that we can probably hire someone to run things or not run things, but do it more day to day and get out there a little bit more, expand a little bit, and that's the goal. I don't think the goal. It maybe at one point was in my head that I do this on a full-time basis, but I got some responsibilities in life now, so but I would love to see it grow. Like it's again, it's fun to do. So 5 years from now, I'll definitely still be doing it. I know that much. Hopefully a little bit bigger, a little bit, but still with the same small town kind of attitude to it, right? Like we don't want to be a mass commercial product. We'll never go for LCBO sales. It's always going to be farmers markets, restaurants, more the artisan side of things is. But yeah, definitely, I'll be here.
And where's here? Where do people get your product?
Codrington, Ontario. So we do, obviously the store's open Saturday and Sundays right now here in Codrington. And we're at Witchwood Barns periodically every other week in Toronto at Christie and St. Clair. We're around the corner here at the Codrington Farmers Market Sundays. Fridays we're in Warkworth at the Farmers Market there. So we're out there. We'd like to get up and do an Ottawa Farmers Market if we can. If you get any blog listeners that they can hook us up with that. So
Excellent. And social media, can you follow you?
yeah, you can follow us on everything except for Twitter, because I don't know, we're not into that for some reason. That's my wife does all the social media, so she's big into the Instagram and the Facebook side of things. So, but yeah, mostly Instagram and Facebook.
There's only so much you can, dive into before it just becomes
Yes.
a problem.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for the time, and I'm looking forward to sampling some more here, and we'll keep in touch as we go forward.
There's a bee. Thanks.
Thanks. Cheers.